When I think about never giving up, my reflection is it may depend on the direction you are aiming for. Because if I don't give up, but I'm on this direction and I have this wall, doesn't matter if I don't give up because there's a wall in front of me.
Then
so
what you're saying is that you will die. Yes.
Yes. So do you think how to know for sure we are on the right direction for having the courage and resilience of not saying no, I don't stop?
So two things. One is
it's hard.
It's super hard, right? And people ask
because
me,
it may be crazy. For example, you made something nobody heard of before you made.
Yeah.
So how to know it can be a good thing?
And so the first thing is that you look at the top 10 companies of the world today, and all of them started recently, right? So the oldest one is Microsoft, and it's almost 50 years old, less than 50 years old, right? So this is really important, right? Entrepreneurs are the ones that are creating the change. And part of it is that they never give up, and part of it, some might have died during their try, right? But I think that there are two factors here. One is the journey is about value creation. Mm-hmm. By the way, the name of the book, Fall in Love with the Problem, Not the Solution, is coming from the value creation. The simplest way to create value is solve a problem. So if you want to start your journey, I would say start with a problem. Think of a problem, a big problem, something that is worth solving, something that the world will become a better place if you solve it. Mm-hmm. And then you ask yourself, so who has this problem? Now, if you happen to be the only person on the planet with this problem, you know what? I can recommend you a therapist. Way faster and cheaper than building a startup. But if a lot of people actually have this problem, what you really want to do next is go and speak with those people and understand their perception of the problem, and only then start to think about the solution. When you focus on the problem, then you have a North Star that guides you towards the direction, and you also going to tell way more compelling story. If I would be here in 2007 and I will tell you that I'm going to build an AI crowdsource-based navigation system, then you're going to say, oh yeah, very interesting. But you don't care. If I will tell you I'm going to help you to avoid traffic jams, then you do care. When your customer care, they want you to be successful and they will help you to become successful. So this is the fall in love with the problem, not the solution theory. But the important part is that you actually qualify the problem before you even start your journey. And then you try to solve it. The most important progress that you can make is when you listen to your customers, in particular, until you figure out product market fit. So to a certain extent, I would say, look, we define it as a journey of failures. And there are so many iterations that you're going to make. The biggest enemy of good enough is perfect. You don't need to be perfect. You need to be good enough in order to win the market. And the way that you're going to become good enough, and this is really scary for most entrepreneurs, is that you're going to start not good enough and listen to the feedbacks that you get from your customers. And then you improve and improve and improve based on the feedback only in order to make it good enough. So just imagine that there are two twin sister companies, right? Company A and Company B, that they're doing exactly the same thing, right? And they have, twin brothers and sister teams, or they have exactly the same teams and they're making exactly the same progress until one day Company A says, our product is really bad. We need to keep on building that, right? And Company B is saying, our product is really bad, but we are going to go to the market with it. From this point on, Company B is making way faster progress than Company A and way more likely to win the market. Now, when I tell that to entrepreneurs, occasionally they will tell me, oh, you don't understand. Our product is really bad. It's embarrassing, right? We're going to lose all of our customers. And I will tell them, wait a minute, you don't have customers. We're going to hurt our brand name. No, you don't have a brand name. You will have a brand name once you become successful. And the way to do that is with starting with not good enough and iterate and iterate and iterate. So how do you know that you are not against the wall? You go to the users and you speak with them. That's it.
That's a good advice. And that's a very good advice. And you talked about not being perfect, but being good enough. This is, in my opinion, the mindset of a good entrepreneur. For example, here in Brazil, I talk to tons of people. I have more than 20 million subscribers on all my channels. And here in our company, we talk to more than 40 million people every month. But even though my English is not perfect, I started a channel called Rich Cousin. So I started to produce content in English, even though my English is not perfect, but it's a better way to start because I'll improve every day, focusing on the same thing. This is the idea of the good enough, or maybe the not so bad.
It's
to start
and
get better.
I think this is critical behavior, right? And because what follows this behavior is part of the culture of the company, right? So we realize that we are not perfect, and therefore we allow mistakes and we allow failures. And when this happens, then we try to figure out what went wrong and not whom to blame, right? That's the key, right? Mm-hmm. When something happens, not who, but what. What we can improve, whom. So you're going to fire someone, and the result is other people will be afraid to make mistakes. And when they're afraid to make mistakes, they're not going to try something new. And therefore, you prevent innovation, right? No one is going to try something new if they know that the risk is that they're going to lose their job.
So the idea is to focus on the what, not on the whom, because if we do it, maybe people will be so afraid that they will stop innovating.
Exactly.
And the company may die on long term. Okay. Two things I didn't understand about your story. First, when you're talking about falling in love with the problem, and you were telling us about the traffic problem back on the days Waze was created, how did you manage to know this problem? This may be empiric, but did you make any research? Did you talk to any customers like on the streets or the friend? Did you make something more scientific? I don't know.
So the scientific approach is go and speak with 100 people. That's the scientific approach. And the reason that I say that is that if I'll tell you go and speak with people, then you're going to speak with your wife and best friends, and you'll tell me, oh, they said go and do that, right? And so you go and do that, right? I want you to get out of your comfort zone. Speak with people that you don't know. So when you think about 100 people, then you start to speak with people that you don't know, and that allows you to qualify. You don't really need to speak with 100 people, because after 10 or 20, you will have either the conviction that this is not into the right directions, and or this is the right direction. And by the way, I can help you out to sort those answers, right? So if you tell someone, okay, this is the problem I would like to address, what do you think about this problem? And they will tell you, oh, I know someone that has this problem. This is not good. But if they'll tell you, no, this is not the problem. The problem is, and they will give you their version of the problem, this is good. So the qualification is about listening to what they tell you, right? And in most cases, what you will see is that it will allow you to understand the problem better and what is it that you need to solve. Hopefully, it will now allow you to figure out the nature of the beast, right? So what is really the problem and not what is the perception of the problem. The second one is that will allow you to understand which type of people, what target audience you actually have, right? Some people that you thought that might have this problem, they actually don't, right? And so if I would ask someone, so who has this problem, and they will tell me everyone, then the next thing that comes to my mind is, wait a minute, I don't have this problem, so it's not everyone, right? I'm not part of it, right? And so the qualifications of the relevant of the segments is really, really critical. And this happens when you're actually doing your qualification and dialogues before you even go and try to solve something. And then the next phase, I will say, think of the fastest way to demonstrate the value. Now, in the case of Waze, because we needed real-time traffic, then we had to build an app and the server and everything. But in many cases, you don't need to build anything. You can do manual work and provide them the value that you're supposed to provide them, right? So do that and see if the value is meaningful for them. Because when you speak about futuristic solution, then everyone will tell you, yeah, that's a good idea. That doesn't say that they're going to use it, right? No, if I will ask you, okay, imagine that in your next car, instead of having a steering wheel, they're going to be a joystick, right? Do you like that? And best, you're going to tell me, let's try, right? Let's try. The let's try is really, really important, because then what we really needed is I don't need to build all the technology. What I need to do is make sure that I'm able to deliver you the value.
O maior evento de educação financeira do mundo está chegando, é isso mesmo, FinDay 2024, dia 19 de outubro, serão mais de 10 horas de conteúdo, grandes nomes do mercado, temos Thiago Nigro, Bruno Perini, Guilherme Bentimol, Flávio Augusto, Clóvis de Barros, Paulo Guedes, Felipe Spritzer, Cristina Junqueira, ou seja, um baita de um evento para você curtir o dia inteiro. Serão mais de 25 mil pessoas numa plenária gigante, no maior evento que o Grupo Primo já fez. E para você fazer parte disso, vou deixar aqui um link na descrição e você também pode seguir o Instagram FinDay_Grupo Primo para você ficar por dentro de todas as informações, tirar suas dúvidas e tudo mais, beleza? Espero você lá.